Today, we're going to be talking about ancient civilizations that were advanced. And some of those civilizations that we're going to be talking about were the Olmec, Maya, Aztec, and Inca. So, before we get started, I'd like you to think about this question. You can jot your answer down in your notebook. The question is, why is our society considered an advanced civilization? So, think about things that we have in our world that we use every day that might make us an advanced civilization. What do you think makes us an advanced civilization? And when I say advanced civilization, if you look down here, an advanced state of human society in which a high level of culture, science, industry, and government has been reached. So that will help you if you think about those particular things. Pause the video now, answer the question, and then press play to continue. So when we talk about an advanced civilization, we mean that these civilizations have these certain characteristics. They have an organized government. They have an organized religion. They have advanced architecture. They have developed art and writing. They have some type of technology. I know not the technology that we use, like computers and things like that, but they have technology, for example, to build bridges and roads and pyramids, like we'll talk about in a few minutes. And they have specialized jobs. Different people in the society have different roles and different jobs. So if we take a look at the map over here, I know we just finished talking about the continents and the oceans. So we should know that this continent up here is North America, and this continent down here is South America. Now, what I want to talk about is this middle section right here. So currently, right now, this would be like where Mexico is, okay? This area right in here, we're going to refer to as Mesoamerica. And meso comes from the Greek word meaning middle. So it's in the middle of North and South America. So three out of the four civilizations that we're going to talk about today, the Olmec, the Aztec, and the Maya, all developed in Mesoamerica. The fourth civilization that we're going to talk about, the Inca, developed in South America. So let's start with the Olmec. The Olmec civilization developed in Central America, or what we are going to call Mesoamerica, and this was about 3,500 years ago. What was advanced about the Olmec civilization was that they were able to farm the land, which created a surplus of food. Now, having a surplus of food, this means that these people no longer have to be hunters and gatherers. They don't have to follow their food. They can stay in one spot. Okay, having a surplus means they can now support a larger population. They can stay in their spot, they can grow a surplus of food, they can grow their civilization. This population growth led to the rise of big cities. And this is what we'll see moving forward with the other civilizations as well. One feature that stands out about the Olmec civilization is that they did leave behind these big stone sculptures. So if you see the picture on the right here, they were sculptures. Archaeologists believe and scientists believe that these sculptures were of people that they believed in. It could be what they called gods, it could be kings, things like that, people they respected, or spirits or gods, like I said before. These sculptures were usually no smaller than 6 feet tall, and they could go all the way up to 12 feet tall. So if you think about the ceiling in our classroom, that's only about 9 feet. So imagine this stone sculpture being 12 feet tall. The next civilization we're going to discuss is the Mayas, the Mayan civilization. So they were, again, located in Mesoamerica. You can see here it says Central America, which we can also call Mesoamerica. And this was about 3,000 years ago. Out of the four civilizations that we're talking about today, I would say the Mayans are probably most known. You might have heard their name before, and that's because of the calendar that they created, which we'll talk about in a second. So they made a lot of scientific advancements in math and astronomy. They used the stars, like I said before, to develop a calendar. They studied the solar system, the sun, the moon, and the stars. And they used math along with astronomy to create a system of numbers and a calendar. So the Mayans had short calendars and long calendars. And I don't know if you remember this because you were probably still small, but in 2012, they said, everybody's saying the world's going to end. The world's going to end on December, I think it was December 21st, 2012. And that's because one of the short Mayan calendars was coming to an end. So people thought that the Mayans believed this signified the end of the world, which obviously we're still here, so it didn't. This is just an interesting pyramid that the Mayans created. This is called El Castillo, and I don't think you can no longer do it today, but you could walk up these steps. There are 91 steps. And what's interesting about this is when you add up the steps on all four sides of this pyramid and then add this platform at the top up here, you get 365, which is the same amount of days that we have in our calendar, which signifies 1 year. So that's just pretty interesting. Also, this shadow here, it makes the shadow of a snake. And as you go throughout the day, it actually looks like the snake is moving. So when you click on the next, in the HyperDoc, when you click on the next link to view this presentation without me speaking, you can actually click the time lapse button and it'll take you to a video if you're interested, and you can see that shadow moving like a snake. The next civilization we're going to talk about is the Aztec civilization. Again, they were located in what is now today Mexico, which we can call Mesoamerica, and around the year 1300. What makes them an advanced civilization is that they had a highly structured and organized layout of cities and roads. They had causeways, which were raised roads, and these raised roads, some of the raised roads, actually led to the capital of the Aztec civilization, which is known as Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan was on an island, so it was surrounded by water. So they had roadways leading over the water to the capital. The last civilization we're going to talk about is the Inca civilization. So this, out of the four that we're talking about, this one is actually located in South America. And this was about 2,000 years ago. The Incas became experts at creating terraces or wide steps of land out of the steep mountains. And you can see here, this is a mountain here, and they created these steps. And what they would do is they would actually farm the land here. So they created flat pieces of land that then they were able to farm, because it would be kind of hard if they were farming on a mountain or a hill that had a steep slope. So they carved out steps. They would plant on those steps so they could farm, feed their people. And again, remember that having a surplus of food and be able to farm in one spot, that led to the growth of cities. The Inca civilization had about 10 million people and 10,000 miles of roadways.